Hello. Hi everybody, it's Suzanne here today. I'm just doing some little adjustments here. I'm going to try and work up a little closer than usual so you can see all the details. You can have a look at the welcome signs. You've seen them all before. It's probably about time I got in a new one. Hi, Allie. Oh, hi, Else. Oh, that's Kathy Jo hopping in as Quietfire Design. I'm just waiting for my iPad to show me that I'm live, but it doesn't want to do that. So, hi there, I'm Suzanne, and I'm a calligrapher. I may as well fill the space till we get a few more people here. And my design team has some blogs, and you can visit those. Quietfire Creations, Quietfire Digital, and we appear usually once a week on the Elizabeth Craft Designs blog. And you can find me on Facebook. I'm right here on Facebook. You've already found me. Okay, I'm just trying to get some joy going here. Hang on a sec. I should be able to see what's happening on my iPad and who's joined. Hi, Yogi. There's Kathy Jo. Is Kathy Jo? So I just wanted to tell you that that you can find me here on Quietfire Design, and we also have a new Facebook fan group, Suzanne Cannon fan group, and it's new, and everybody's still kind of shy. So we'd like you to come and share, join in, and don't forget to answer the questions. You have to answer a couple of questions, but they're kind of mindless, but you still have to do it to show us you're not a bot. And on Sundays, we have Show Me Sunday now, and it's where you can share a project that you're working on that you might not have finished, and that's okay. It's just show us what you're working on, and if you've used a Quietfire Design product, then please share what you've been working on, because we want to be inspired by you, because we all think differently, and it's really exciting to see what other things are happening. So also you can sign up for the Quietfire Design newsletter, and you can go to my homepage on quietfiredesign.com.ca. I have both of them. There's .com and .ca. And sign up, and you'll get information about sales or new products that are coming out. And keep in mind that anything on the Quietfire site is in Canadian dollars. So if you're in the US, it's going to look a little different, but it all works out in the wash and works out to basically the same thing you would pay if you were in the US. Also, on the Quietfire site, there's a new Letters Live department, which has products that I sell on the Quietfire site that I've used in these broadcasts in that category. So check those out. Even on Facebook keeps these broadcasts, so you can find them. If you go down to the on the left, you'll find on your Facebook profile, you should find. I'm not getting my Facebook here behaving at all. Hang on a second, I'm just trying to see what's happening. Yeah, so if you go to that menu, you'll see there's videos, and you can find them there. Or I put them on my YouTube channel too after a few days, and I'm a bit behind with that. And I should say thanks to Kathy Jo for last week for coming in and doing a fun project. And she is giving us links today. So Kathy Jo is on the other side of the continent and sharing links. And I'm just give me a minute here while I go to, hello, I have a monitor. Basically, my iPad is right in front of me here, so that while I'm working, I can see what you're, oh my goodness, what's happening. And Facebook is not cooperating with me today. Is it cooperating for you guys? It's sure not for me. Hang on a sec. Nope. I don't want to go to chats. Back to Facebook. Wow, this is the first time this has been like this. Notifications. It's like it's totally stuck. Okay, I think I'm here. Now I have to turn down the volume, because if I don't turn down the volume, oh boy, that is up close. Wow, what's going on today? Okay, let's get to the project. I apologize. Technical issues, that's my life lately. My website has been down. If you've been trying to get to it through Chrome, they did a software security upgrade and something happened. Anyways, they think that's the problem and they're looking into it now. So if you use one of the other browsers, it seems to be fine. Use Foxfire. Firefox? Foxfire? Oh dear. Even it's glitchy with Safari apparently. Definitely with Chrome, but they've reset it, so I think it should be fine. Okay, so what we're doing today is more of a concept than oh, oh dear, are we still live? Everything looks good, Suzanne. Thank you, Kathy Jo. I'm having to look at my connected devices. Oh, my goodness. Boy, I'm kind of lost without this, looking at my monitor. I can't tell whether you can see what I'm doing. Anyways, I'm going to move these puppies aside. And I want to show you this. So what I'm doing today is more of a concept than a project. And this is the Unforgettable die, and that's what I'm working with today. And it's from Elizabeth Craft Designs, and it's right there. And it looks like that when you flip it over. And it's, I just love this word. I'm so glad I have it. It's, it can mean memorable, indelible, haunting. Haunting is one of its synonyms, and I thought that was kind of interesting. So, you know, photos can fade, ink on handwritten letters can fade, but the memories are still there, and I kind of wanted to capture the fading on the Unforgettable die cut. And so what I'm using here is Emerald Creek embossing powders. So as a calligrapher, when we want to say something really important, we use gold. And gold actually does not fade or oxidize. That's why they use it. So we've got to kind of pretend here. We're going to pretend we're using brass today. And then we're going to antique it. So we're going to start out on the left with gold or brass, and then we're going to antique it a little bit, and then we're going to really patina it. Now there's a few different options for doing that, and I'll show you some. And I cut a bunch of Unforgettables. And I'll work with those in a moment. Just white cardstock, and I actually did use some manila cardstock for something a little bit later that I'll show you. I'm using three of the sort of three categories of the Emerald Creek embossing powder. One is the doubloon gold, and then the sort of midway antiquing is charred gold and chic camo. And those are slightly different. They're quite different. The chic camo is a bit more fine, and it has a sparkle in it. And then the real patina ones are the verdigris sparkle, which has a real sparkle in it, and that is not it. And the other is Seth Apter's Baked Texture Patina Oxide, which gives a very flat patina look. So let me show you how I do this. So we got Unforgettable there. The other thing I'm working with is a Versamark watermark stamp pad. And it's basically sticky, and it'll make the embossing powder stick to your project. And that's all I find I need for this. There's other products that I probably have fairly close by, but this is what I used for this project. And a heat tool, and this Wagner Studio it's a really nice heat tool, and that comes from Emerald Creek as well. And I think Kathy Jo will probably give you their website link in a minute. I'm not seeing any comments coming up, so let me just check here, see if I can. Oh, comments off. Maybe I'll get them now. Okay, so all we have to do for this is take the ink pad, and I have a little sheet here, and I'm not gonna ink up the whole thing. I mean, I could ink up the whole thing and add all the different embossing powders. They'd end up all mixed up, and I have a degree in chemistry, and I just can't stand the contamination, so sorry. So anyways, I'm just inking up those first few letters, and then I'm just going to take a regular piece of paper. Just one is all I need. There we go. I fold it in half. And spread the powder. This is really delicious powder. It's magical. I love it. Well, the other thing you're going to want to have is your tweezers. These are put out by Elizabeth Craft Designs, and I love them because they're pink and they show up. You can see them wherever they are on your workspace. Okay, so I'm just going to choose those few letters, and I can go back and I can add embossing powder at any time. So I'm just going to put that aside and fold this up, pour it back in. Nothing is final. Okay, let me heat this up. Bear with me. It goes really fast. And it leaves a beautiful smooth finish. I really love this. And I used to double gild, is what I was going to say, double emboss it, but I find I don't have to. Okay, so the next step is I'm going to go back in and I'm going to emboss. I'm just going to add the Versamark. And it doesn't really matter if I get the rest of the stamp pad, or the word, sorry. Now, chart gold is a bit lumpier. It has some interesting things in it. And the chic camo, well, it has a bit of glitter in it. And I think I might use that. And I'm actually going, oh, you know what I forgot to do? I'm going to curse myself for this. I forgot to put the piece of paper underneath. Never mind. I'm going to tap that off. Now I got to get rid of this. And of course, because I did the Versamark on there, it's going to want to stick. Poor technique. Gee whiz. Oh, look at that. That's fun. And that's why you change. Now, I should emboss that and see what happens. And it's a good idea to put the lid on right away, or write the name on the side as well, because once the lid's off, you might be a bit confused. What happens if I just emboss that on there? Do I get a sheet of, let's try. Oh, this way you'll see what a big sheet of this looks like. And anybody that's joining in is going to go, what the heck is she doing? Okay, you can see what's happening there. It's got a bit of glitter. I don't know if you can see that. It's pretty neat. It's going to be a little bit hot right now. Can I peel it off? I might be able to peel it off in a slab. Not really. Oh dear, best made plans. Okay, let's flip it over then. We'll pretend that didn't happen. Okay, let's do the word. And there it is. So that has a bit smaller pieces in it, so it's good for finer words or finer parts of the words. Can you see that? And then I'll show you this one, which is done with the, and I'll put white behind it so you can see it. But this is the other charred gold. And it has bigger chunks in it, so it kind of goes almost swirly in places. It's pretty interesting. So we're antiquing this. We're going from gold or brass into an oxidized look. And then the last step, and I'll go back to this. Where's my, there we go. And that's just inking up the last few letters in the word. Now, the difference between these two, the Verdigris Sparkle and the Baked Texture Patina Oxide, is one is sparkly, and this one is the sparkly one. And then the one I showed you, you know, you could probably mix them and get an interesting effect. And then my other one, and I'm not sure if you can see that on the camera, but it's very flat. And it does look like patina, that's for sure. So let's do the sparkle, because that kind of shows through that it's gold, that there's still gold there. This is pretending, of course, that gold tarnishes. It does tarnish a little bit, but not like brass. Brass looks awesome. Okay, and let's pour that back in. And again, put the lid on. And let's give it one more shot. There you go. So there you go. We're antiquing. We're going from the bright memories and fading away, and they're getting oxidized. So I think this would be awesome on the cover of a photo album or on the cover of a journal, because you're going to fill that journal up with memories, right? So you won't forget them. So that's basically the technique. I mean, pretty simple. I might go back in and ink up a few of a bit more over here and add a bit more of the transition antiquing. And what do you think? Do you guys like the here's the, do you like the flat or do you like the sparkle? And I'm not getting any comments today, so I don't know what, unfortunately. Now this one, it kind of depends what you're going to do, what you're going to put it on. For this one, I actually backed it with a black and did a very slight drop shadow. So if you're going to put it on a really busy background, you're going to want a little bit of a drop shadow just to give the letters a bit more substance so that you can see them better and they don't blend into the background and get lost. And just be a bit careful. This is one of those words where almost everything is reinforced except right there. It's kind of easy to stretch that. So just be careful. Remember that there's a baseline and that this might move a little bit. So just be aware of that. And I don't think I need to tell you about how to line up your words for this project. This is just a piece of Ranger manila cardstock, and it's been brushed a bit. I'll show you how I did that. It was kind of fun. Okay, this is my little thing of water. And this is the manila cardstock from Ranger. I'm sure you've all seen that around. So I just throw it in some water. Oh, get the dust too. And then take it and crumple it. Now this stuff takes forever to dry out. And just turn it into a little thing. And then you get all these wonderful creases in it. Yeah, nice. But it does take quite a long time to dry out. So don't even with a heat gun, you can dry it out, but it does resist. So, and you can soften it right up. So you can make that as a bit of a background for your book. That's one option. Another option that I really like, and this is parchment. It's real animal skin. And of course, that's what calligraphers would have used. They used vellum and parchment, and vellum is calfskin, and parchment is lambskin. And I happened to get this package years ago, and it came from US ArtQuest. And I cannot find this anywhere anymore. I used to have it on my website, but that's a pretty big piece. Oh, you can see where it was stretched. How interesting. Anyways, these were very old animals near the end of their life, so they're getting recycled. And that's what I like to think of. But yes, you would just glue that on there and then bring out your sketchbook and attach it. I think you'd have to use real, pretty serious glue for this. I don't think you could just use a double-sided adhesive. You could certainly try, but I really want to take that and stitch it to something. Okay, and the other thing I did, of course, was tested out all these embossing powders that I used. And again, they're from Emerald Creek. That's doubloon, charred gold, and you can see where that's more of a molten mess. Camo chic is more fine. Chic camo. I always want to say camo chic. Chic camo is what it's called. There's the patina oxide, which you can see is very flat. And there's the verdigris sparkle. So you can choose, whatever look you want and do it that way. You could do the same thing with the memories die. That would be fun. Or remember. There's another good one that you could do things with. And I think that's about all I have to show you. The other thing I did was played with was, this is one of the Quietfire stamps. And I tried that. And I think that might be kind of an interesting, but it might need, I'd look for something more subtle, like I'd stamp that with antique linen. I think it needs to be even paler. And then Unforgettable on the top, or Memories, or Remember. But I just thought it was an interesting concept to try out and see how it worked, and I thought it was pretty successful. So you go from the gold or brass into the slightly oxidized and then into the patina, all in one word. Yes, Kathy Jo, very old animals at the end of their lives. Are there any questions? I'm going to stand up. So, like I say, this is not so much of a project as a concept today. So don't forget to join us at the Suzanne Cannon fan group. Show us what you're making, especially on Sundays. Find me on Facebook here and visit the Quietfire Design site where I have all the Elizabeth Craft designed dies and stamps that I make for them. And of course you can find them all on their site too. And that's about it. Thanks for coming, Yogi. Thank you, Kathy Jo, for doing all the links. And let me know if you ever have any problems with the website or any questions. There's I'm Suzanne at quietfiredesign.com, and there is a contact page on my website. If you scroll down to the bottom, you can get to me. So thanks for coming. My apologies for the technical issues. And I hope you found it fun. Thanks for coming. Bye-bye. See you next week.